Can Kevin Olmedo turn this pole position into a race win? We're going to find out right now.
Here we go. Good start, Greg. Josh Cernay, great start for him. And he's going to lead him up the hill out of turn 1 up to turn 2. Now, what you can't see on TV, this is extremely uphill, like more than it even looks there in the view. But this is a young man that I've seen up here working with Tyler O'Hara before, and he has got the whole shot so far. Dream start as they run down into turn 3.
Josh Cernay out front, leading the way. He's going to be doing these California rounds on the Floyds of Leadville Kawasaki Ninja out of Placerville, California.
We saw him running really well at Laguna Seca as well, and you can see right behind him now Rocco Landers, and he's already starting to go to work, Greg, as they go up into the carousel. Rocco positions himself and just lets the bike run out of turn 5, carries all that speed, transfers it right into turn 6, and goes to the front. So
Rocco Landers, the 97 on that green Kawasaki, now leads the way over Josh Cernay on a classic pass over the crest of the carousel. There's Cernay on the 21 coming back at him. Cernay, nope, not going to do it.
And so I believe it's Marc Edwards that was just trying to run back around the outside of Rocco as they came through turn 10. Rocco had the better line, but now it's going to be Kevin Olmedo trying to look up the inside of Josh Cernay. Thank you for that, Hannah, by the way. We'll talk about that some more in a minute. But Josh Cernay leads the first lap across from Kevin Olmedo, Brendan Kettleson, and Rocco. Marc Edwards rounds out the top 5, but now we got a little bit of a race. And see, some of that, Greg, is just going to be Rocco doesn't know this track very well, so he's going to be still learning the place as he goes around.
It's led by the 21 of Cernay. Kevin Olmedo, our pole sitter, on the 14. Here comes Rocco making aggressive moves.
Wow.
That's 2 and 1.
That's great. That's just so good. I mean, he just committed so much to going by both these guys going down into turn 4. And there's not a lot of room down there. So the commitment that Rocco made, he made it very early to go straight to the inside, very much like we see from Tony Ilias during the Superbike races, but he made the pass stick. He's going to look at Cernay as they go down into turn 7, and he's going to go up the inside of him, see if they can turn it back up underneath him. Nope, not quite close enough. Rocco just lets go of the lever and then just carries a bunch of corner speed.
Using all the racetrack, the number 97, Rocco Landers, making his move back up front after a mistake on the Ninja400R.com Norton Motorsports Dr. Farr entry. Olmedo trying to go up the inside of Cernay. He's going to get that done for the moment. There goes the blue and yellow 14, not with a good drive. So Cernay's going to go back around him. Oh, it looked like for a moment they were going to go side by side. All the while, Rocco Landers taking advantage of this race into the final corner with Cernay up and out of the saddle for a moment as he gets stuffed.
Wow. It's all happening. And Rocco's just starting to peel away now, but Marc Edwards, they're up into third. He's 48-0, and here you go why. This is why. Rocco is pushing hard, and we're seeing more mistakes out of him so far in 2 or 3 laps than we've seen all year. That right there, Greg, was very, very lucky. He could have high-sided really easy there in turn 11, and that's why that gap closed itself back down. Here you go, Greg. This is what I'm talking about. And if you see he's getting the downshifts done, body's still sitting in the middle of the seat, so hasn't made a transition over to the right yet. So when you're trying to make that transition, it's going to all be through your arms once you're on the brakes. And that's why you see that bike get so out of shape. And this is probably going to be earlier with Rocco. Yep, still getting it loose on the exit of that last corner. And they've done a good job of keeping Rocco kind of in eyesight. 48 flat that time for Olmedo, his personal best with 2 to go. So he's still got his head down, and he's got to keep looking forward, because the last lap it looked like Marc Edwards had a little bit of a run on him as they came down through the carousel. And Olmedo is really good up in this top first sector of the track. Let's see if he can continue to pull away.
Here comes another braking zone opportunity. There goes Edwards up the inside, going into the final corner on this racetrack. No, he can't hold the line. Up and out of the saddle goes Josh Cernay. It's going to be a run to the flag. Rocco Landers will take another victory here in 2019. And the dash to the flag, it's going to be Olmedo and Edwards. Just a couple hundredths of a second ahead of Josh Cernay. Brendan Kettleson will come home in 5th spot. So here's a look at the results. Olmedo, Marc Edwards, Josh Cernay, that incredible battle for 2nd spot. It's going to end up that way. Then Kettleson, Dunham, Reese, Glotty, and Teague Hobbs. Lights are going to go on. When they go off, clutches are out. And it's time to get race 2 going in the Liqui Moly Junior Cup class. And Josh Cernay with a great launch. Great launch from Josh Cernay right there off pole position. So he's going to lead them again, much like he did yesterday up into turn 1. Let's see who gets into second. Olmedo is going to sweep around the outside of Rocco.
So we've got Olmedo up to second, Rocco Landers, and it looks like a great start from Brendan Kettleson as well. He's going to put the 44 right there into 4th place as they go through turns 3A and 3B on their way down the hill. And Olmedo's closed that gap down to Cernay. He's actually trying to go around the outside of him in turn 4, which is a big move, Greg.
How about that? A sweeping move around the outside for the...
And he's still there.
And yeah,
and now we're going 3 wide.
3 wide down into the carousel. Landers trying to go up the inside. He thinks better of it. The 14 takes over. But Landers has position through the carousel. And he's the tightest to the curb. As they exit, it's Landers.
I love it. I love watching what Rocco just did there. He put himself to the inside, went over those bumps that everybody talks about being so deadly. He just didn't even care. He just moved himself right in there. Olmedo going for a big move right now on Cernay because he wants to try to go with Rocco. That's a big move from him. All the while, Kettleson sitting there in 4th, watching all this action happening right in front of him.
The kind of action we expect here in the Liqui Moly Junior Cup class early on. Rocco Landers making the move to get himself out front and control the pace. Kevin Olmedo trying to go with him. So the Oregon native, the 14-year-old, Rocco Landers, your championship points leader at the point. Coming out of the chicane, they're going to head towards an opportunity to pass. But Kevin Olmedo, the 14, on that yellow and blue motorcycle, not close enough to try a move.
Oh, there goes Marc Edwards. He goes underneath Kettleson in turn 11 there, Greg. Kettleson's trying to run it back up underneath him. He's not going to do it. So we've got the first 4 guys from yesterday running 1st through 4th, although Kettleson's battling back to try to get that spot. Probably just as they come into this corner here. This is the little turn 1 chicane. Benjamin was running, yeah, he was running up in our top 10. I could see him there, and then he just loses the front.
The Northfield, New Hampshire quarterly racing on-track development rider Benjamin Galati out of this one. As Rocco Landers continues to lead the way, clicking off another 47.1. Kevin Olmedo a 47.3 last time by, but you can see Olmedo's pretty close.
That's incredible. And Rocco just made a mistake coming out of turn 1, but see how he protected himself? He protected. Olmedo's going to try to go up underneath him, and he does as they go into turn 2. Rocco made a little bit of a mistake as he went up the hill, got into turn 1 a little deep, and it pushed him out over that curbing a little earlier than I think he would have liked.
New race leader, number 14, Kevin Olmedo, after setting the fastest lap of the race this early on, makes a move in turn number 2 and has the lead. Now, what can Kevin Olmedo do with no one to chase as Rocco Landers now sits in his draft? How long is Rocco going to stand for this? He's got a tight line into the carousel, Jay.
That's what I mean. You open that door. This kid does not need a second invitation. And the thing is, Greg, is I would think that these guys would see what he's doing and try to duplicate it. And he just doesn't care. He sees where that line's going to be opened up, and he goes right to it. Looks over his shoulder because Olmedo got the drive on him on the exit of turn 7. Let's see what happens as they go in. Now Rocco holds that position. Olmedo's going to cut it back up underneath him, or at least try to.
He flinched.
Yep.
Yeah, Olmedo had it for a moment, but then he just decided to check up.
Yep.
Something was going on board with Kevin Olmedo. Good decision. Falls back in line. Now 2 or 3 bike lengths behind Landers. Olmedo back to the front around Landers. So Kevin Olmedo on the 14, back to the point. Couple lead changes so far in this one. 8 laps to go. Here's where the door's been open.
Yeah, but Rocco's following now. This is what Rocco does. That's what I'm saying. At 14, he's pretty much ahead of his time. He's going to sit there. He's going to follow Olmedo, see where times get made up or lost, or just look at some different lines.
Or just put the pressure on him.
Yep. But you can even see in the body position, there's nothing really in Rocco's body position right now is telling me he wants to go past. He's just going to kind of sit there behind Olmedo and let him set the pace. And what will happen, Greg, is you kind of get into a rhythm, and if your rhythm starts becoming high 47s and these guys can do 46s, Rocco knows that he'll still be able to do that lap time probably at the end as well. Chicane turn 9 area, but what that did is that you can see he's pointing back to something is Josh Cernay, and that could have been, I don't know if it's bike's not shifting, maybe it's a tire, could be a number of things, I guess, but he's pointing to something that he's not happy with, so that allows Marc Edwards to get himself back up to 4th. Here we go, we're going to have a look. Let's look and see if it's shifting.
Yeah, see that was 3, 4,
yeah, he's still
5,
trying to get it into gear.
6,
That's exactly
7.
what it was.
Yeah, he was working it.
He's trying to get it into gear, so he might be catching some false neutrals, obviously, and bike's not quite getting itself into gear. Because it's never really tires with these guys. The tires last forever. The Dunlop tires they put on these things, they go forever. And there he goes. Cernay goes up underneath Kettleson. Now these guys are going back and forth. Edwards leading that 3rd place battle now. Edwards and then Cernay and then Kettleson just behind.
Kevin Olmedo with half a lap to go, trying to get his first win of 2019.
He is trying to, Greg, as they come down into these S's. This is where Rocco's going to try to go to the right of him here as they come down the hill.
Rocco with a great drive. The number 97 side by side takes over the lead. Into the chicane they go. Kevin Olmedo will have an opportunity to try to strike back. Olmedo on the gas.
He's right
he gets
there.
a decent drive. Oh, is he going to try to force the issue? Oh, that was so close. Did that blow it for Olmedo? Rocco Landers moving to the mid part of the track, trying to block the line. Kevin Olmedo is trying to, and up and out of the saddle he goes. Rocco using every bit of the racetrack. Gets on the gas and heads to the line and will log another win in the Liqui Moly Junior Cup race by 0.2 of a second.
Yeah, great job by those two. What a great ride from both of them. Here we go, the battle for third. Josh Renee still trying to get that bike into gear, Greg. That's really going to cost him. Might cost him a position, but Marc Edwards doesn't care. He's going to get on the podium for the second day straight. Brendan Kettleson will be fourth. And poor Josh Renee just couldn't get the thing into gear, Greg. He was still struggling with it.
So here's some race results. As you can see, that margin of victory from Landers and Olmedo, then Marc Edwards, Kettleson, Cernay. Hunter Dunham, good job for Hunter to be in sixth with Jackson Blackman, Gage Reese, and Stroud.